dilemma, a pickle, a predicament. Oh my goodness. Let me show you what's going on. Yesterday, during the manufacturing of my video, I had a rolling brownout or a power failure, or for whatever reason I lost my electricity, which means my universe died. The Kerbalverse just ended in the flick of a power company. Actually, I drove down the block. I saw why. They needed to do some maintenance or something. I saw the truck with the bucket and the tool in the hand. Anyway, such is life. But here's my predicament. And I don't know if you saw how I did that. I went to the orbiting center and double clicked on my vessel. And here we are. This is the point of no return. And you can do this by going back to the space center. Sometimes you need to do this so you can go get a new mission. But once you do this, you're locked out. You can't return. Your fate is sealed. Whatever you do from that point forward, in the easy phase or the medium phase, they allow you to do quick loading, which means you can fail and come back to your last save, which would be like minutes before. I really recommend that if you're trying to work on something specific like your moon landing. But in this case, I'm just going for it. This is my real universe now. I do like to be able to revert my flight in case I make initial mistakes, especially with airplanes. Otherwise, you're killing Kerbals and crashing stuff. And until you get good, you just can't do it. And I like to do it. You know, a game of death, no return. Once you push the button, that's your fate. Oh boy, that's a whole nother ball game. Anyway, the reason I came back to the Space Center was to maybe get some loose end contracts. Transfer any crew between vessels near Kerbin. That's a given. We're doing that one. See, this is exactly what I came for. And so let's get out of here. Go to our tracking station, our communications array. You can do this two ways. You can highlight and press fly, or you can double click. Do not push the red X, but it will give you one out. But don't get in a hurry and push the red X and say, okay, like we're so used to doing, because you will terminate your vessel, kill any Kerbal aboard. Alright, so let's transfer. Let's just do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Bob out on a limb. Let's see if he can do an EVA report. No, he can't. Alright, so now I'm going to switch back to the vessel. like Chekhov, he always had a problem with his V's and W's. He wouldn't say vessel, he'd say wessel. I bet he also said vacuum instead of vacuum. Anyway, I'm going to transfer the crew. Bill Kerman, transfer. Alright, we just achieved our mission. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to my Kerbal. And oh boy, we got a predicament. We got to get from this door to that door, so let's let go. If you're scared to do this, then this is one of those moments where you need your save. So what you basically do is line up. Now there are ways to change this, and there's many settings. And then you click your pack. Now he's not going to really know what to do, so he kind of floats around there in infamy. If you don't do anything, he'll do something himself and do something, and then do the opposite. And then realize that if you move forward and backward, then you'll probably also go up and down. So now we should never forget that our Kerbals have a light. See that? This will help you on the dark side. And this is not as easy as I may be making it look. This takes a little bit of practice. The thing is gentle corrections, and don't go crashing into things too much. Alright, I think my head's on it now. Yeah, I've got my head on the craft. Alright. So, let's go forward. I'm trying to go slow for you guys. And if you get the board button, just hit B. You go straight in. That's when you're cool. Okay, so now what we've done is we have actually put one Kerbal in one craft and one Kerbal in the other. And that's another Apollo mission. Okay, so anyway. It's really great. The designers of this game are space enthusiasts, and unfortunately for them, they were not alive. Apollo in space is just a historical perspective to them. I got to see the stuff on TV. I remember waiting hours for reports to come up, and they give you a little 2-minute blip, and you're like, is that all we got? Go back to showing Heidi or, you know, Swiss Family Robinson or Johnny Quest cartoons or something like that. And we did not have the documentary footage that we have now. They gave us very little, but they gave us quite a bit in writing. And fake news was alive then also. Alright, so let's figure out what we're doing. Now I remember that I activated the long engine. See, it's activated. And I control from here. Alright, so since we do not have a pilot, if we had a pilot, we'd have that auto prograde node. We could just switch the button and go straight to it, which is really nice. This is a pain, but this is really good. Even though it's a pain, it's good to train and get used to doing stuff manually. Have you heard me complain about the airlines and pilots saying they fly those things unautomated too much, and they're afraid in the event of an emergency they won't have the ability, so they're requiring so many hours behind an active stick now, and of course other controls. I know you need an additional license or at least a certification on your license to fly a dual propeller or dual engine aircraft. Pretty sure that counts for 2 jets too, but jets is a whole different category. Stuff happens early and then you adjust the controls and there's a delay. So you got to be way ahead of your flight. Alright, so we just missed our moon approach. I should go for it. Alright, we didn't miss it by too much, and I have no idea, but I saw it come up. I just looked up and saw that was totally spontaneous, and for a mission of no return, this is insanity. Alright, not to mention we have just ran out of gas. So, next stage. Whoa, my staging is all jacked up. I gotta do stuff. Manually, maybe. I may have just screwed the pooch. Alright. Yeah, that was rough. Let's hope we're not behind the game. I really do need to check this. I've done everything in such a spontaneous fashion. I should really be ashamed of myself. This really is seat of the pants space flight. I don't know if it's pressure or just impulse, but this is really not the way. Alright. It appears as if we may be in a situation where we have to abort the whole kit and caboodle. But we will continue while we have gas until we get in an emergency situation. I promised you a potential rescue. So... now I'm really worried about not being in front of the moon and going straight at its core. So I'm going to try to make an adjustment. I do not like this. I'm not seeing its indicator come up. So, there it is. Alright, I'm putting it right on now. I don't even know if this is good. I just like the way it looks. Like sweet. Looks like I'm even a little ahead of the game. Whoa, what is going on? I'm close. Alright, like I said, we're going to continue forward. Like we got a pair. And that's a pair of engineers to support us. And a pair of computers. And two, not one, but two Kerbals. Not only a scientist and an engineer. And that's 3 pair. And those are 3 good pair to have. I mean, if we're going to go into risk mitigation and crazy frickin' moon landing attempts with capsules attached. It was 2 ships, but as you can see now, we're 1. I'm going to open this up and charge our batteries. Doesn't look like we're having any trouble maintaining. Man, I am worried. Okay, absolutely no way on Earth are we landing with this much fuel. It is highly probable that we will achieve orbit, and it is possible that we may have enough fuel to return home. So basically, rather than reverse it now, we're going to go get into orbit. And we may actually act as a support vessel for Valentina or Jebediah to do the moon landing. So, one thing that we could do here is actually let them continue to the moon. I could go immediately back to the Space Center and launch their rescue vehicle now. Let's see if that's even feasible. We are coming in a periapsis at 28, and it looks like it may be a reverse periapsis. Okay, it was. We have now missed the moon just by that test correction to try to reverse that. So what we need to do is probably immediately go back, put it between those 2 objects, and undo what we've just done. 878, wow. 10. 15. There we go. 15624. Won't really matter which way they're going. If we go and land on the moon, we can take off over the top of them, or should I say under the bottom, and Anyway, let's let them continue. They will be there in 8 hours, 34 minutes, and 50 seconds. For the sake of energy conservation, I will be turning down... No, I don't need to. Doesn't matter. They can run all their lights. They shouldn't have a... They might. There's a situation where... I'm going to turn off the lights. There's a situation where as you travel to the moon, the planet is right here. And the moon is opposite of you right here. So basically your solar shields get no power the whole journey. That's the death mission. If you're playing hardcore. All right. So without further ado, we have to decide Jebediah or Valentina. And I believe we will be taking the landing craft. Let's check that out. Is that the one with the gears? No, it's not. Whoa, that's pretty nice. I won't land on the moon though. That's right. Y1. Not yo. E. Alright, that's the one with the landing legs on it. And we may do better here because we won't be utilizing any gas for anything. You know, who do you send? Your best pilot or your second best pilot? I say you send your second best pilot in case you need a true hero to come in with the hitchhiker storage container and save all three. So, anyway, quick checking. I always thought that was too much. I do have to remember we're lifting more weight, but I'm also remembering we have 4 of them. So, quick adjustment. Didn't even save it. Let's just see how that works. Once we get her underway, I'll probably stop the video and then start a new one. So people that want to just go right to the landing mission. So here we go. We're going to land on the moon. And we're going to have 2 witnesses. And we got all our Kerbals in space. Well, except for Stud Boy. Jebediah. And he's our hope if we need rescue. So the lights you see blinking right now, those are a mod called navigation lights, and they don't do anything but put blinking lights on board. And they're also pretty cool. You can set them up for interval, flash, strobe. If you like aviation and want to have, you know, a right and a left, and red and green, and a top, a bottom amber, and maybe a top blue. You can set up a whole system of different lights for what we call safety indicators, which would be great when we start doing multiplayer in this game. Then people actually can have standards, and then it'll all be interesting to see where this goes, if anywhere. It might die because it's a specialty niche, so I goosed it just before landing, and of course we go right into Moon Protocol. Which is, whoa, no. Oh my goodness. Almost tipped it. Okay, let's get back to efficiency. Did you see how I removed the gas during the tip? That's pretty essential. And the reason being is you didn't want to put any additional thrust into the direction you're pointing your nose. Usually it's the thrust vector that carries you more than the way your nose points. And look at me, I'm way overpowering. Let's go see where we're at. once again, overpowering. So I'm going to arrest the 900,000 meters per second is a good speed for now. And now we're taking the momentum right up. Also thrusting forward. I'm going to just leave it on 35. Looks like our thrust vector, I'm going to measure it. It's on 9.0. That's pretty good. I'm going to turn it off so we don't go below 30. Now as I push the gas, it'll come up. And so I just want to freeze that number, have it run backwards a little. And I'm trying to close this number 1 minute and 2 seconds. If you watched any of the other videos, you've heard this 10 times already. Slow this number down, speed this number up. Get your apogee closer to, more approximate to you. Hit your target altitude. You have your vertical speed and your forward speed. So as your vertical speed decreases, you'll get closer to this window. So at 30 seconds, I'm going to try to arrest that at 15. That's 15 degrees. And it looks like it dropped down to 29, so I'm going to go up in speed a little. It appears if it's moving away from me, but I like it. Alright, so we're going up in speed, and we've not only arrested the 30 seconds, but we're moving backwards. So there's two ways to address that. We can address it with fuel. Alright, so I turn the gas way back. We're just trickling it in. If you see our rate of burn, look at that. 2 and 3. And you can watch us march. Now I'm going to just go back a little more, and I'm going to maybe arrest this at 12 again. This gives me some time to do some other stuff. Like look at my gas here. If I want to arrest it at 12 faster, I just put it on that. And that thing will march right down to 12. You notice I didn't change my gas mileage, but now this is accelerating, or my my fuel flow. So I'm just going to back the fuel flow off just a little bit, just a little bit more. All right, now I need to stop this and back that up a little. Okay, now we're about to run out of gas, so let's go see what's going to happen. I'm going to gas it because we were below 12. All right, we're out. So, separate there. We did not leave space junk. Alright, we're in trouble. We have passed it, and we don't want to do that, so we want to bring it back in front of us. 0. Alright, back off on the gas. You can arrest it at -1 if you want. Actually, that's probably the most efficient way to go. Put it. Okay, so I'm approaching my 22, and my 2's pulling away from me. But my angle's also going up, so I'm becoming inefficient. So I put it back down, and I'm going for the 2250 right now, full blast, 2250. Bam, check it. All right. We just need a little bit of a correction, and just put it on 70. Alright, there we go. Now, of course, it's always nice to check in. I'm somewhat skeptical that we will have an ability to land on the moon. So, looks like we're just going to have a moon orbit party. And who knows, maybe I'll just build a monster craft and Jebediah will bring a hitchhiker storage container up and put us all in it, and we can all land on the moon together. Anyway, next thing I need to do is set that as my target. Ascending node or descending node -5. Wait, where's my craft? Here. I apologize. Ascending node +5. And we could also do that other thing, which means go straight there and then adjust on the fly. That would depend on the position of the moon. So anyway, no need. We have to pass this point before we pass that point. So we're gonna warp. Now I apologize to everyone who hates these long videos. If you love them, then that's great too, but I sometimes am more of a relaxed enthusiast, meaning I don't want to have, you know, an intense test of my motor skills and keep my brain over focused all the time. It's just, I don't know if it's good for a person, and I personally don't like pain and frustration. So okay, this probably should be how the last Kerbs took their approach, but this makes it more fun when you just do that spontaneous stuff too, sometimes. Alright, so something happened. Alright, so they put theirs on 15, we're going to go for 15 too. That's T-O-O. It means also or as well. Toja. Together is Pruski Toja. Okay, something's going on, like I can't get a good periapsis to go below. So what you do in that case is just kind of spin the wheel, put it on it, just spin the wheel a little. Alright, close enough. In 7 hours and 39 minutes, which is an interesting prospect because we may actually beat the other ship there. We have to add in the time it takes to get here though. And I will just warp to the next maneuver. I don't know about that minute 18 burn time. I don't really like it. So what I'm going to do is what I call manual confirmation. Meaning we've got the mission parameters in there, but if I don't like the call, I'm going to change it. Because I am ultimately the pilot and I have to live with my decision. No matter what and what is going on. Are we having electrical problems? No, we have charge. I'm not sure what the problem is, but that's our cue right there. Something's not right. And you can see our burn meter coming down. We're hitting our node where we just did 10 seconds ago. Look, that was the fuel that we were supposed to use to land the craft, so we should probably just bring 2 of these up or have a push craft, one that actually takes this craft to its destination point. Alright, I kind of feel good that as this gets closer to the moon, that my point gets closer to the edge. Now that flying off of there, that's the computer going crazy. Okay, that means we missed our mark, so we're just going to turn that off. It's annoying at that point because it's flying off like we're doing something wrong when we actually just made a correction. Moon periapsis is 623, seeking 15. 35, 19, 12. Okay, that's fine with me. And we will do that in 8 hours and 5 minutes. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to go to the other vessel, switch to it, and we're going to look at our destination time. So that was 8:05. There's a mod called Kerbal Alarm Clock if you get too many of these going. Because we are going, wow, we have a problem, Houston, or Kerbal Space Center, we have a problem. Okay, we're arriving in 8 hours and 2 minutes. And what did our other craft, 8 hours and 2 minutes? Let's see. Oh, this is going to be interesting if it says 8:02. 8 hours and 4 minutes. So, we're going to have a 2-minute window. Simultaneous arrival, virtually. And it makes an interesting point that the efficient flight path makes up a lot of time. I wasn't that efficient either. But what I don't like is the lack of mission planning and the pressure at the arrival point. So the only thing I can do now, let's don't warp too far too fast in case the information is wrong. Wow. It appears as if I am traveling at a very nice speed. We should probably check before we get there, make sure everyone has electricity, fuel. It won't really matter. I mean, we're on our own. We decided to leave the safety of our space center. And we are beyond the zone of vessel recovery. It's just out of our hands. Now it looks like as I slow down, I almost feel confident to warp here. You can really see that speed appears to be dwarfed because even though we are accelerating very well, look at that, real high. We don't move that fast because we are slowing down as we pull away from Kerbin and get ready to be captured in the influence. Technically this craft is ahead, so let's check that time again. 2 hours and 49. 2 hours. Alright. I did do a quick battery check before I left, so I'm going to do that here. Yes, we're fine. And we have a 1 hour and 58 minutes. So let's just get this over with. Look at us. Alright, so mission planning might be important here. This will be because we don't have time to mess around. 14 and 17. Burn time in 56 minutes and 32 seconds. Don't be bashful to write it down if you need to. 58 minutes, and okay, so we've actually picked up a little bit of time. We got a 6-minute window now. That helps. And now we have 12 and 11. We won't complete that just completely. Alright, I'm going to do something here. We won't be able to visually see them, but we may be actually able to see them on our vessel highlighter. If you want to make the game more difficult, just turn off distance to and highlight vessel, and it keeps you very honest. There's ways to adjust the difficulty, about 4 or 5 different ways, and I recommend that if you get bored or want a greater challenge, there's always stuff you can do, but be advised you're gonna have to do more focus, and anyway, I don't know if I have enough courage to just go into the full-blown thing, so whoa. Alright, good. Time warp complete. Now, is our other vessel in sight? I think I saw it. There it is. Look at that. They are 69 kilometers from us, which is amazing. So we're just going to have to do this warp to next maneuver, right? Keep my eye on them at the same time. And I actually have a minute, so while we wait, let's see if I can find them again. And check their distance. If I can't, I need to start my burn. There we are. 85 meters. Kilometers? Yes. So, let's get on with it. Burn in 12 seconds. And if you don't want to go to the other map and you're doing this correctly, you can trust your burn meter, and this allows you to watch your gas too. And we are allowed to run out of gas and stage. And you can see this marching down. Not the best pilot, because I don't have any autos. Alright, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. Alright, check it. We may have to do an adjustment so we don't crash into the moon if something's not right. Kill that, turn that off. We actually have 12 and 15. That is stable. We are switching to Y1. Alright, and it's nice that we had the pilot coming in behind, because he can just go straight to his retrograde. And he burns in 1 minute and 25 seconds. I have 74 kilometer sighting of Yo Bill. Now, if you don't think this is exciting, maybe you shouldn't play Kerbal. If you're moaning and groaning, you shouldn't watch these videos either, because anyway, like I said, it's a niche thing. Now, the exception would be as if you're college students and it's a drinking game, and every time I say a word, you take a drink. But no, don't let me give you ideas, please. Anyway, I knew a professor who was the victim of a college drinking game one time. He was embarrassed. He said all the students knew him, and one day he asked a student, he said, "Why is everyone so friendly and happy to me?" He says, "We watch your show." You know, he says, "That thing on I do." He said, "Yeah. And every time you say this word, we take a drink. Do you like the show?" "No, it's a drinking game." And he's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, please try to be in the habit of saying, oh my goodness. That other one is subjective to criticism. Alright, so I don't necessarily know if I want to go all the way on this one, so I'm going to come out here, and my goal is to match my other craft if I can. Alright, so I got the apoapsis and the periapsis very close. Look, within 5 milliseconds of my burn. So let's see what I need to adjust. First thing I'm going to do is set the craft as target. Alright, I can see that I have 12.6. He has 15. I have 12. Or I have 11. He has 12. This might be one of those cases where we take the speed off. Try to get it more in line like this. Line up his app and my app. 0.3 off. I'm a little lower. So, I don't really know where we should put it. I need to make it grow at the right time in the right place. I don't know if that's it. I think this might be it. I'm just going to put it on 12.369. Alright. On 12.487. Let me do the opposite of that and put it back on 369. Hopefully we'll pull that separation down too. Three, 4, 5. We're safe here. We need to come down here maybe to make our next adjustment at 3, 4, 5. We'll put this on 5, 9, 8. And when I do that, I'm going to use, I believe, this one. Let's look at what that would be with orbit, which which that coincides with growth. And that's what we want to do, is grow. Because I'm in orbit now, I'm in prograde. So that means when I am here, I'm going to get bigger. And one thing I might consider doing is waiting till I'm here. So we'll pass this point first and see if that changes. So that's at 453 now. Okay, that goes to 236 now. Which maybe we should just take a ride with what we got and come back here. Let's do that. Now this should be where the inside lane catches him or closes. I already know, but if you didn't, that 11,000 feet is a safe orbit. We're missing some beauty, but I'm gonna fix the maneuver first, and then we'll enjoy the beauty as we rotate. So let's see what's going to happen again. 236 to, wow, 2.1 kilometers. All right. And it looks like we may have, gosh, you almost want to do nothing. So we're going to try to come to this periapsis, make an adjustment here, and close that gap to less than 2.1. Alright, as soon as I get there I can start any time now. Low gas test, 3.6. Bad. So, we did the opposite of what we should have done. 2.1, we're back. 1.4, 1.1. And look what's happening. Our indicator is coming closer to us. So I'm going to put the AP back on that. It looks like that was our closest point for now. 1.5, 1.3, 1.0. Alright, let's put her back on target. And let's try that again. Wow, it seems to be it seemed to move closer to us, but it's adding speed, not taking distance. So let's try to decrease speed. Do opposite. That's the relative speed to the separation. I don't know if you remember the other video where one was 289 and the other one was less than 1, and it was impossible to put the brakes on. It flew past me 4 kilometers. Alright, so 4.5, 4.4, 0.9. Wow, we're dropping in both. Okay, it went back up. So I think what we're saying is that's about as close as we're going to get, and what we need to do is bring it back to this point and for the final adjustment, which will be target brake or retrograde. So let's just do it. As soon as I get this adjusted and we are traveling at the same speed within a kilometer of each other, we will evaluate other conditions and see where we stand. The fuel, the craft in trouble has limited fuel. Um, we have 3 Kerbals, so we can't. Well, we could separate, but that would be a risk. Probably should stay together if we can. Alright, here we are. And what we're going to try to do is peel the speed off and make it 0. Alright, go with it. It's not 0 yet. As it comes across you, spike it. 0. Alright, that's our goal. Let's go back to orbit. So we can get some control or put it in prograde just so we know which way we're pointing. I'm going to the other vessel if I can. And I'm going to make this my target. That's a double click. Now I can go to target if I want to. And I'm going to point it at that vessel. Okay, so we should be traveling at the same speed, approximately, in the same orbit. That's what that means. And we're going to look at this on the big map. And we see that this is not entirely true. We have a little bit of adjusting to do. 12.369, 12.20. And it looks like our separation is, at this point, 0.7 with a relative speed of 3.0. So we can do what that craft did. We can help. Right now he's in a fixed orbit, so we'll adjust, let him adjust to us. I don't know if you remember me pushing your node, but you can push. You go, so let me push it. And we've slowed down to 0.4. Let's see what we're doing to this also. Looks like I've closed it in up to 0.2 kilometers. Looks like I put it on 0.1 kilometer. Looks like I have it on 0.2 at 2.0. Point 2.0. I'm on 0 with 0.3 at 1.9, which is fine. So let's go here. We're going to go inside the craft, and I can see that my true relative speed is 0.17. 0.2, so it's not quite perfect yet, but we're at, our hope is to match our periapsis and our apoapsis to near identical, and we can do that up here while we get up to 0.3. Let's go see what's going to happen. See us closing in real fast. We're within 100 meters now, or I'm sorry, 500 meters, 300 meters. And see the target's 1.9, so what you can do is immediately try to start to slow it down. When you move it towards and slow down at the same time, that's good. And it's, what I'm doing is I'm chasing the 0 here, trying to put it on 0 and drive that 0 towards my target reverse. Alright, now that I'm on point 1, I get a little closer. Now, what this is doing, and it's real subtle so you may not notice, is it's subtly aligning our periapsis and our apoapsis to match the other vessel. See, when we're on this side, it's closing this one in, and when we get to the other side, it'll close that one in. We've pushed this off to 0.2 and 9. There comes a point in time where you just say never mind all that, okay? You got to get close and then never mind. Do it all, learn it all, and then forget everything. All right, so when we're within 3:14, look, just pointing at it. Right at it. Go. Now, you see our forward thrust vectoring has shot towards us. So we're going to put that right in the middle, actually a little bit past. So when we come back here, hopefully it will adjust into it. Now the other one we push, this one we pull. So if we want to move it towards us, we pull it to us. Okay. Now, 2 meters per second is not the super clip. It's enough though to get you in trouble. So, and the one thing we don't want to do is get it too close. So we're pushing on this one and blast our thrusters right into our target away from us or damaging it or anything. You just don't blast anything with your thrusters. So as it's approaching, I'm going to slow it down. So I'm to 1.5. I go to the other side. And then I go to the other side. Alright, I'm moving at half a meter per second. And I'm just going to sit here and let time do the work. So I'm going to accelerate. If you get impatient, just hit time accelerate. Alright, see that number moving up? Hit it twice. Hit it 3 times. Hit it 4. Okay. Now, here it's time to do it again. And you can see we are at different trajectories. So all I'm doing is slowing it down. Alright, that was a love tap. Now, why did I do that? Because I didn't want to blast it. Alright, so now I put it on 0. I have to go inside the pit, the cockpit, to check how close. But one thing I can do is put this on orbit and then go prograde. Prograde orbit, just like that. you can see that how much we're off just a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to switch vessels, and I'm going to put them in orbit prograde. Now, don't break the antenna. So, let's see what that looks like inside, from inside. There's the vessel. So I wonder if we could raise the landing gear and hook them together. It's probably not a good idea. There is a set of clamps though, where you can grab on another vessel. One thing we could do would be separate one vessel from another. Wow, look at my liquid. What's he got? Oh, I don't know. Can I transfer fuel? There's no way. He's... Alright, let's check the other one. The only thing we could do, and I don't even know if it would let us do this. I don't think it will. I think I have what we call obey fuel transfer cross feed rules, which means we would have to have, and I don't know why we don't, a third docking port, like essentially here. We actually accomplished almost nothing other than a space party. So I think I'm gonna end the program here and see if I can figure out a way for Jebediah to save the day. But we may have to write the moon landing off as a failure, but hey, we know that a failure can be a success if we run the science too. Which looks like we can get an EVA report. Let's get that EVA report. Wow, look. Northwest crater. We're going to keep it. We're going to board. We might transmit that baby. We need some good news. It's mission control. So, unfortunately, we're not within comms range, or we're blacked out because the moon is blocking us. Anyway, pretty cool. Even in the failure, so what a waste. But if I hadn't had the power failure, we wouldn't be in this predicament. I would have just hit revert to flight and then kept trying until I got it right. Which brings up a good point. If you see any videos that say hardcore, it's gonna be that. So, thank you for watching. Have a great day.